This is Algebra 2, Chapter 13, Section 4, Part B, in which we will study half-angle formulas. If you remember in Part A, we did double-angle formulas, where we were looking for sine 2x, cosine 2x, or tangent 2x. Here we're looking for half angles, so sine of x over 2, cosine of x over 2, tangent of x over 2. Now you'll notice one thing here, each one only has one formula. It's not like cosine 2x last time that had 3 choices. You'll also notice that all of the formulas involve a square root and a positive or negative. Okay. The question always comes up, is it a plus or is it a minus? Well, it depends on where your angle was. If they tell you x is anywhere between 0 to 180, everything is positive. If they tell you x is between 180 to 360, sine is still positive. The other two are negative. Between 360 and 540, going around the circle a second time, tangent is positive and the others are negative. And then as we finish the second lap of the circle between 540 and 720, cosine is positive and the other two are negative. So you'll want to refer back to this to decide whether your square root should be positive or negative versions. Now, just like before, sometimes we have to do a little bit of work to get going. If you noticed on all 3 of the formulas, the key thing to know is cosine x. If they gave me cosine x, I'm in like Flynn. I can just go right to work and get the job done. If they didn't give me cosine x, then I've got my hands full. I'm going to have to do some Pythagorean work to get cosine x, because all I was given is sine x. Okay. So I'll do my Pythagorean, substitute in. If I square that, I get positive 16/25. Subtract that over and then take the square root. And I chose negative because if x is between here and here, between 180 and 270, that's quadrant 3. And back on my 13.1a notes, on the 3rd slide, it says in quadrant 3, cosine is negative. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking, some of you, wait a minute, you said between 180 and 360. Yeah, that's for finding out whether the half angles are positive or negative. Okay. You have to refer to the right information, or the right chart. Well, the sine of x over 2 formula tells me to do 1 minus cosine x. So I'll do a little arithmetic and get to an answer. You'll notice I chose the positive square root here. 180 to 270 definitely fits into the 180 to 360 line from slide 1 here. And that told me sine is positive and the other ones are all negative. So I got a positive value for that. Cosine x over 2 would be negative, so I just got the negative right away. Substitute in my value for cosine x. Do a little cleanup work and find out that it's should be negative 0.447. There. All better. And then finally, the tangent version calls for a negative again. Substitute in the values for cosine x. Clean up the arithmetic. 1 minus negative 3/5 is 8/5 over 2/5. If I divide that out, I get the square root of 4, which is 2, so I have a negative 2 for my answer. Okay. Remember the key things here. You need cosine x to make all of this go. And your positive or negative depends on the table that we got back on the first slide. So make sure you consult that. Sometimes you're going to have to do some Pythagorean work, but that's okay. You can handle it. Had questions along the way? Hopefully you wrote those down. Bring them in with you, and we'll see you in class.